So, welcome to this evening's conference with Le Cercle des Langues. We are going to be discussing how to make a strong first impression in business contexts. This evening's conference is level A1 to A2. So, for the next 20 to 25 minutes, we are going to be discussing the conference. And for the last 5 minutes, we will have an question and answer session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to either put them into the chat or put them onto a piece of paper and we can have a look at them afterwards. This evening's conference will have 4 parts. We are going to discuss body language and attitude, introducing yourself clearly, polite language and key phrases, and finally, we will look at the do's and don'ts for first impressions. So remember that even though I am giving you the PDF in the chat, if there's any extra information, feel free to have a piece of paper or a book and a pen ready to take notes. So making a first good impression is very important because it's in this moment that people often decide if you are friendly, professional, or confident in the first few seconds. A strong first impression helps you build trust and good relationships. And we often see the power of a first impression in things like job interviews or prospective clients for a future business. So let's look at body language and attitude. Your body language shows confidence and respect before you even speak. A smile and good posture make people feel welcome. So, why is this non-verbal communication important? Non-verbal communication is often stronger than words. People remember how you made them feel, not only what you said. And when we talk about non-verbal communication, we are referring to our body language. So what are some tips that we can remember when we are thinking about our body language? The first thing is to smile. A natural smile shows that you are friendly. The second is eye contact. It's important that we look at the person into the eyes, but not for too long. So we are not trying to stare. We are just showing the person that we are engaged with them and we are interested. We need to remember our posture. So we need to stand or sit straight, not slouched. Slouched is when our shoulders hunch over, which turns our face towards the floor. A handshake, a firm but gentle handshake, is professional. So let's look at the general differences between a place like UK and France. Remember, these are just general ideas. So in the UK, people usually prefer a light handshake and more personal space. In France, a handshake can be stronger and people often stand closer. Something to remember is we always observe how the other person greets you and we adapt. So what lessons can we take from famous people? Barack Obama often stands tall with open hand gestures when he speaks to look more welcoming. Michelle Obama always smiles warmly and makes eye contact. This shows friendliness and respect. So with those tips in mind, we need to remember how to introduce ourselves clearly. Saying your name and role clearly makes you sound professional. Keep your sentences short and easy. So we start with two different options. So the first one is where you say your name and your job clearly. For example, hello, I'm Maria. I'm a teacher at Oxford School. Your second option, good morning. My name is John. I work in sales at Tech World. Within these are always polite phrases because polite phrases show respect and friendliness. In business, being polite makes communication easier. A small phrase like nice to meet you can make a very big difference. So let's look at an example of a polite introduction on the first day. Person A will be our new employee and person B will be the manager or the colleague. So to give some more context, our new employee is nervous with beginner English, but our manager or our colleague is welcoming and polite. Hello, I am Maria. Today is my first day. Hello, Maria. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I'm David. Nice to meet you too. How are you today? I am a little nervous. My English is not very good. That's okay. Don't worry. You are doing very well. Can I help you with anything? Yes, please. Where is the meeting room? It's just down the hall on the left. I'll show you. Thank you very much. You're welcome. We are happy you are here. So if we go a little further, we can talk about polite language and key phrases. Polite language creates a positive atmosphere in meetings. Using the right phrases make you sound professional and respectful. So let's look at top 5 polite greetings in the UK. In English, we say hello, good morning, good afternoon, nice to meet you, and how are you? And in the USA, they could say hi, hello, nice to meet you, how's it going? Or how are you? It's important to remember that sentences like how's it going are less formal. So we choose the appropriate time to use them. If you are meeting someone for an interview, it might be a better idea to say hello or good morning. We then look at things like small talk. So why is it important? Small talk helps people feel comfortable before serious business. It creates a friendly connection and breaks the ice. So what is small talk? Small talk is a way to have surface level conversation without getting too personal. And it is a way that we break the ice. So when we are using small talk, we ask, how are you? Did you find us easily? Is this your first time here? Did you have a good journey? The weather is nice today, isn't it? You could also ask about people's hobbies, or you can ask them where they are from. So there are many different kinds of questions you can ask when it comes to small talk. Because remember, small talk is just to make the environment a little bit more comfortable. What are our do's and our don'ts for first impressions? Good manners and professional behavior make a big difference. Avoiding bad habits helps you look confident and respectful. So, three pieces of advice. The first one is to listen carefully. Show interest in what the other person says. Good listening builds trust. We also call this active listening. When we listen not to respond, but to really understand what the other person is saying. Speak clearly. Use short, simple sentences and speak at a good speed. And lastly, smile. A smile makes you look friendly and open. Another do is to. So, what do we talk about with related expressions? I understand. Please tell me more. So, when we say this, it allows the other person to understand that we are engaged and we would like to know a little bit more. To speak clearly, we could say, can I explain that again to you? Or could you please explain that again? We could also use sentences to explain that maybe the other person was talking too fast. Could you repeat that, please? Or could you explain just a little bit slower so that I can understand? The don'ts. Don't cross your arms. Crossed arms can look unfriendly and closed. So we always try to leave our arms open. Don't look at your phone. Using your phone shows you are not interested. Focus on the person in front of you. Don't speak too fast. Speaking too quickly makes it hard to understand. What to say to your colleague in these situations? So when your colleague crosses their arms, you can ask, are you okay? Is there anything you would like help with? There is not always a problem if your colleague crosses their arms. It's just a way sometimes that people sit. So we also have to be careful not to assume that there is something wrong. Here we are just noticing a behavior, and it tells us that maybe the person we are speaking to is more closed, or they would not like to express themselves really in the moment. When your colleague looks at their phone, you could ask them, shall we continue this when you are free? Do you need a moment? Because I can wait. So, as I said before, when we are learning a second language, there can be many challenges. For example, if your colleague speaks too fast, what can we say? Sorry, could you say that a little slower, please? Can you repeat that more slowly? I want to understand. It is clear and a polite way to ask for clarification. And this is good because it gives you the confidence to say, I really want to understand. However, I need you to speak a little slower. So, in conclusion, Making a strong first impression is about small but important details. A smile, clear communication, and polite behavior help you look professional and friendly. Remember, people may forget your words, but they never forget how you made them feel. So I want to thank you for joining me for this conference this evening with Le Cercle des Langues. Please remember that I have put the PDF into the chat so that you can download it and have a look at the useful vocabulary and the useful expressions that can help you in situations where you would like